Awake with a weight on my chest again. Battles inside me I cannot explain. Temptations whisper like smoke in the wind, but I hold on tight, I won't give in. They don't see the war I fight at night. With every silent tear I seek the light. This broken road, it leads somewhere, and every step becomes a prayer. My struggle is my prayer to you. When words fall short, my soul breaks through. I'm reaching up while falling down. Still I won't let my spirit drown. I'm not perfect, but I still care. And Lord, you know, my struggle is my prayer. The world is loud with poison gold, selling fire to hearts turning cold. But I won't trade what's true and pure for fleeting things I can't endure. I've walked too far to turn around. Each stumble echoes something profound. With every bruise and every scar, I'm closer now to who you are. My struggle is my prayer to you. When doubt is thick, I push on through. Those shadows beg for me to fall. Your mercy still outshines it all. Though I am flawed, I'm still there. But deep inside, my struggle is my prayer. Not just to weep, but to rise in faith from valleys deep. The chains I break, the sins I flee, the cries for you to stay with me. This isn't weakness, it's my fight. To stay in grace, to seek what's right. You see my heart beyond despair, and know the truth that led me there. My struggle is my prayer to you. When silence screams, your love breaks through. I stumble, cry, but still I try to lift my eyes beyond the sky. Forgive my past, I'm almost there. Because I know my struggle is my prayer. Each scar I wear, each tear I've shed is a verse you've read inside my head. Keep on walking, bruised but fair, 'cause even pain can be a prayer. I've carried shame like heavy rain. Each drop a mark, each tear a stain. I wore my guilt like a second skin. Trapped in the dark, I wandered in. I broke the rules I knew were true. Ran from the love that followed through. But even in my wildest fall, a voice above still heard it all. And when I thought it was the end, I felt a warmth that didn't bend. No wrath, no storm, just arms stretched wide. A whisper saying, you're still mine. In God's eyes I begin again. My failures fade, my soul can mend. He sees the man beyond the scars, the silent ache, the hidden wars. I'm not the sum of where I've been. In His mercy I rise within. In God's eyes I begin again. Grace breaks the chains of who I've been. I walked through nights that knew no dawn. Felt hope retreat, thought love was gone. But in the stillness of my cry, a holy peace drew me nearby. Not judged, not cast, not left to burn, but gently called and asked twist a turn. He saw the child behind the fear and drew me close with no one near. The world kept count of all my wrong, but heaven wrote a different song. With every breath I dare to take, I find the road my soul must make. In God's eyes I begin again. No need to wear the weight of sin. He sees the truth I couldn't find, the light that shame had left behind. I am not lost, I'm not condemned. I'm held by love that never ends. In God's eyes I begin again. I am reborn, forgiven then. So let the doubters turn away. Let the past have no more say. For I am not what I once knew. I am His and He is true. No stain too dark, no soul too far, no wound He cannot turn to stars. He writes my story with His hand and calls me more than I had planned. In God's eyes I begin again. A broken heart now sings amen. He saw the ashes, gave me flame. He took my shame and gave me name. So I will walk this narrow road with love that lifts my heavy load. In God's eyes I begin again, and I will never be the same.
Walk your face made of sin. Neon lights, but dark within. Temptation whispered in my ear, and I kept running year by year. I wore the mask, it played the part, but nothing healed my hollow heart. The nights were loud, my soul was numb, until the call of truth had come. There was a voice beneath the noise, a sacred hush, a clearer choice. And though I fell 1,000 times, I reached for grace beyond the lines. From shadows to sanctuary, from ashes to clarity, I gave up what was killing me, to find the peace that sets me free. No more hiding in disguise. I lift my hands, I close my eyes. I walked away from what's untrue, and found a love that pulled me through. I used to chase what fades too fast, build my home on things that wouldn't last. Desire burned and left me cold. The fire faded, the lies grew old. But in the silence of regret, a light appeared, my soul was met. A voice said, come, return again. And I believed in love's refrain. Now every wound becomes a door to something higher, something more. I walk a road both steep and thin, but I have found my strength within. From shadows to sanctuary, from poison to purity, I turned my back on vanity and found divine serenity. No more chains around my soul. I'm rising up, I'm made whole. things I crave no more. I see the signs I once ignored, the hollow laughs, the empty highs. Can't steal the truth behind these eyes. I was a prisoner in my skin, but now redemption floods within. I bow in peace, I stand in grace, and walk with light upon my face. From shadows to sanctuary, from guilt to sincerity, this heart is learning how to be a vessel of humility. No more echoes of my fall, just mercy singing through it all. I walked away from what's untrue and found the love that pulled me through. Now I am
blind, chased every thrill I thought I'd find, but silence followed every scream, and peace was only in my dreams. I touched the fire, I wore the flame, the guilty shadows wear my name, but deep inside a whisper grew, a voice that gently pulled me through. I fell so far, I saw the sky from the bottom of my cries, but mercy reached its hand so wide and broke the chains I wore with pride. Now I walk where my soul finds life, from the bottom of my cries, but mercy reached its hand so wide and broke the chains I wore with pride. Now I walk where my soul finds life, no longer fooled by neon nights. The truth is stronger than desire, it lifts me up from mud and mire. I close the doors to what deceives, I breathe in faith and I believe. No more the dark, no more the fight, I've come home where my soul finds light. Dance with every sin and called the battle pleasure's win, but every smile that lust would bring would tear apart my inner string, until the night I saw the stars and wept beneath my hidden scars. I called a name I used to shun and found the love I'd always run. I laid it all, my pride and pain, in rivers born from guilt and rain. And in that moment, still and small, I heard the sweetest, truest call. Now I walk where my soul finds light, no longer fooled by neon nights. The truth is stronger than desire, it lifts me up from mud and mire. I close the doors to what deceives, I breathe in faith and I believe. No more the dark, no more the fight, I'll come home where my soul finds light. Temptation whispers like a song, but I know where I now belong. The narrow road, the sacred way, is where I choose to walk each day. My heart's not shaped by worldly gold, I found a love that won't grow cold. Forgiven, free, I now can see the light that leads eternity. So I walk where my soul finds light, not by my strength, but by what's right. The fire of faith now burns inside, it leads me through the storm and tide. I close the doors to what deceives, I breathe in truth and I believe. With every breath
with all my might. I live where my soul finds light.
I walked alone through burning nights, chased the thrill, ignored the signs. My shadow danced with silence in, while truth kept knocking deep within. I wore a smile, but I was torn between the sacred and the scorn. Each step I took on broken glass led me far from what would last. But even in the darkest place, a whisper broke the fall from grace. Temptation ends where faith begins, where the light breaks through the weight of sin. I found my knees, I found my voice. In surrender, I found a choice. No longer chained to what deceives. In higher hands, my soul believes. The fire fades, the storm grows thin. Temptation ends where faith begins. I drank from wells that left me dry, built thrones of pride beneath the sky. But what I gained I couldn't keep. My soul was starving in the deep. I heard a call I tried to hide, a sacred echo from inside. And when I dropped the mask I wore, I saw what I'd been running for. A mercy wide, a love so vast, a truth untouched by shadows past. Temptation ends where faith begins, where the light breaks through the weight of sin. I found my knees, I found my voice. In surrender, I found a choice. No longer chained to what deceives. In higher hands, my soul believes. The fire fades, the storm grows thin. Temptation ends where faith begins. I won't go back to empty highs. I've tasted grace that never lies. This heart was made for something more, a peace no sin could offer or restore. So if you're lost, still breathing in the smoke of guilt, the ache of sin, just raise your hands, confess the fight, and let your faith turn on the light. Where faith begins, where the healing drowns what once had been. I found my strength in letting go of everything that stole my soul. No longer drawn by what destroys, I'm lifted up by holy voice. My battle ends, my truth is Him. Temptation ends where faith begins. I walked through fire, I chased the night, tried to win the world but lost the fight. I wore my pride like iron chains. Each victory just fed the pain. I ran from truth, I hid from grace, but silence found me face to face. And in the dark I heard a name, a voice so gentle through my shame. I fell down not from weakness, but from a soul that begged for wholeness. A heart that kneels will never fall. It rises higher than them all. It finds its strength where egos break. In prayers we whisper, not in hate. Though storms may rage and voices call. A heart that kneels will never fall. The world said take and chase your crown, but all that rose came crashing down. I stood on cliffs of sin and pride, but found no peace on any side. Then mercy came and took my hand, taught me to live by God's command. I left the night, I faced the dawn, and sang the song of the forgiven. I don't need thrones or golden names. My soul is free from worldly flames. A heart that kneels will never fall. It rises higher than them all. It finds its strength where egos break. In prayers we whisper, not in hate. Those songs may rage and voices call. A heart that kneels will never fall. I don't need thrones or golden names. My soul is free from worldly flames. A heart that kneels will never fall. It finds its fire inside the call. To walk with faith and turn from wrong, to lift the weak, to stand through storms. I lost it all to gain it all. A heart that kneels will never fall. In dust, but rose in grace. I saw God's light fill up my space. The chains I wore now lie beneath my knees in prayer, my soul in peace. A heart that kneels will never fall. It's held by hands that made us all. No sin too deep, no wound too wide, for love that watches from the sky. So let me break and let me crawl. A heart that kneels will never fall. I kneel not in fear but trust divine, for strength begins when will resides. In that still place where angels call. A heart that kneels will never fall.
Through 1,000 lies, wrote my name in empty skies, built my walls with pride and pain. Still I was haunted by the rain. I chased illusions made of gold, lost my soul in what I sold. Smiles that never reached my eyes, a hollow man in grand disguise. Deep inside a voice remained, soft but strong it spoke my name. A whisper through the noise and flame, calling me back from guilt and shame. Purify me, your truth, strip away what's fake and used. Burn the shadows, cleanse this heart, heal the pieces torn apart. Let your light invade my night, make my blindness see what's right. I surrender all I knew, purify me, your truth. Where darkness looked like peace, where sin would sing in sweet deceit. I fed the fire that scorched my grace and wore regret upon my face. But mercy knocked when I was numb, grace arrived when I had run. You saw the ashes of my fight and chose to trade them for your light. Now every tear I used to hide becomes the ink that testifies that even hearts as stained as mine can be restored by the divine. Purify me, your truth, break these chains I once excused. Wash the lies from all I claim, let no evil dares to hide. dark. Erase the sin, ignite the spark. Lead me where the pure reside, where no ego dares to hide. Undo the man I used to be, create in me a soul set free. Take the guilt, take the pain, let only love and truth remain. Purify me, oh truth, cut me clean with sacred truth. I won't fight what you reveal. I was broken, now I heal. With each breath I'm born anew. I'm no longer what I knew. You're the fire burning through. Purify me, oh truth. Oh truth.
It looked like gold, burned so bright, a flame that danced in sinful light. It promised joy, it sang so sweet, but every note had sharp deceit. They said it's harmless, just one taste, but I saw souls consumed in haste. I stood and watched the shadows crawl, and knew I wouldn't risk the fall. Temptation calls and voices smooth, disguised as love, disguised as truth. But I've seen what it leaves behind, ashes where there once was mine. That's the fire I refuse to touch, though it whispers soft and tempts so much. I've seen the scars it loves to leave, hearts betrayed, too blind to grieve. I've walked too far to turn around. I won't be fooled, I won't back down. There's more to life than burning fast, so I'll walk free, I'll make it last. I've known the weight of silent shame, of chasing thrills that end in flame. But grace has taught these hands to fold, to seek a peace this world won't hold. I'd rather walk a narrow road than carry sin's seductive load. I'd rather thirst for what is pure than feast on lies I can't endure. They dress it up in pretty names, they laugh and cheer while fanning flames. But what is wrong remains the same, and I won't dance in hell's domain. That's the fire I refuse to touch, though it flashes bold and talks so much. I've seen the truth beneath the show, it takes more than it'll ever show. I won't be charmed, I won't be chained. My soul's not sold for shallow gain. There's peace in walking past the heat, with faith beneath my trembling feet. A fire calls with promises, but I break through its disguises. Behind the spark I see the end, where joy is fake and shame won't mend. Let others run and feel the burn, but I have lived and I have learned. Not every flame is worth the price, not every thrill is paradise. That's the fire I refuse to touch, though it begs I won't be rushed. I found my worth in sacred things, not in what the burning brings. I stand in grace, I walk in light. No flame can steal my soul tonight.
truth. I've had enough of the fire I refuse to touch.
Wind of doubt came crashing in, telling me I never win. Voices pulling me astray from the truth I swore I'd never betray. Temptations dressed in gold and light tried to steal my sense of right, but in the silence of the night I whispered words to hold me tight. Knees to the ground, soul to the sky, I found my strength with a humble cry. A single word, a sacred flame, brought me back and called my name. Every prayer strengthens my stand when the world tries to shake who I am. I'll rise not by sword, not by might, but by faith that holds me tight. I may stumble, I may fall, but I won't bow to sin's call. Every prayer strengthens my stand. It's His grace that holds my hand. I've seen the glitter turn to dust, felt the weight of broken trust, but I've also seen a morning rise in the shadow of tear-filled skies. So war inside will never sleep, but my roots of faith run deep. With every breath I choose to fight, guided by eternal light. No thunder loud enough to drown the sacred truth that I have found. When I speak His name in pain, peace like rivers floods again. Every prayer strengthens my stand. When I forget, He helps me understand. I don't need the world's applause, just the shelter of His laws. Even when I walk alone, I know the way back home. Every prayer strengthens my stand. I'm not alone, I'm in His plan. And when I'm weak, too tired to try, I lift my hands to the open sky. He lifts me up, He makes me whole. He's the fire deep in my soul. I won't run with the crowd that falls, I won't answer to empty calls. My heart belongs to something more, a kingdom no man can ignore. Every prayer strengthens my stand, a trembling voice, a lifted hand. Through the dark and through the flame, I call on His sacred name. Let the storm rage, let them scream. My faith is more than just a dream. Every prayer strengthens my stand, because with Him I still can. And when the final curtain lands, I'll still be standing in His hands. Every prayer strengthens my stand. Choices made, each one a wound I can't evade. The nights were long, my soul was chained by silent screams and hidden pain. I drank from wells that left me dry, fed on truths wrapped up in lies. I built a world of fleeting gain, but found no peace, just deeper pain. I heard a voice within the dark, a spark of grace, a sacred mark. Pulled me from that hollow place and led me toward redeeming grace. Chains of sin are broken free, no more guilt controlling me. I rise from ashes, healed and whole. Love has claimed my shattered soul. I walk through fire to reach the sea, a mercy flowing endlessly. Chains of sin are broken free, now I live in purity. To fear the morning light, it showed no longer do I have to hide. I thought that freedom meant control, but I was captive in my soul. Now I surrender all I am to hands that live, not those that dare. I fell 1,000 times before, but now I know who I live for. The pleasure worth the price I paid. The lies are gone, the debt is laid. Chains of sin are broken free by the strength that carried me through valleys deep and storms obtained. My spirit rose, my heart reclaimed. I won't return to who I was. I walk in grace, I walk because chains of sin are broken free. Now I taste eternity. Shattered glass, a beauty born from what won't last. The world once promised ecstasy, but left me starved of dignity. Now every scar tells where I've been, but not the man I am within. I'm walking out, I'm walking tall, with love that lives when I would fall. Chains of sin are broken free, no more shadows haunting me. My past is gone, my future bright. I stand redeemed in sacred light. The darkest days are now behind. I found the peace I couldn't find. Chains of sin are broken free. This is who I'm meant to be. No chains remain, no guilt, no fear. His truth is loud, His love is clear. And when I sing, I truly see chains of sin no longer me. Restless feet, chasing thrills that felt so sweet. But every high came crashing down, left me lost without a sound. I danced with lies that wore a crown, built my world just to watch it drown. But in the silence of my fall, I heard a voice above it all. Turn away from what won't last. The future's not inside your past. There's a road that few will take, but it leads where hearts don't break. The path is narrow, but it leads to peace. Through the pain, my soul finds release. No flashing lights, no grand parade, just honest steps that heaven made. Each stone I walk, a quiet prayer. Each breath I take, a cross to bear. The path is narrow, but I won't cease, 'cause I have seen where it leads. It leads to peace. The crowd would laugh and point the way. Take the shortcut, why obey? But I've learned truth's a steady flame. It doesn't shout, it speaks my name. The road is steep, the climb is slow, but there's a strength in letting go of all the chains I used to wear, of every hollow, empty dare. Now I carry less each mile, trading sin for something worthwhile. And though I walk it all alone, I feel more love than I've ever known. The path is narrow, but it leads to peace. Through the pain, my soul finds release. No flashing lights, no grand parade, just honest steps that heaven made. Each stone I walk, a quiet prayer. Each breath I take, a cross to bear. The path
is narrow, but I won't cease, 'cause I have seen where it leads. It leads to peace. It leads to peace. The crowd would laugh and point the way. Take the shortcut, why obey? But I've learned truth's a steady flame. It doesn't shout, it speaks my name. The road is steep, the climb is slow, but there's a strength in letting go of all the chains I used to wear, of every hollow, empty dare. Now I carry less each mile, trading sin for something worthwhile. And though I walk it all alone, I feel more love than I've ever known. The road is back, I've closed that door, but there's a strength in letting go. But there's a strength in letting go. But there's a strength in when I feel I won't look back. I've closed that door. What I need no more. The path is narrow, but it won't cease to pull me gently towards the peace. I stumble, fall, and sometimes bleed, but not from chasing what I need. For now